Selfridges on Regent Street is one of the largest department stores in the world, and I've always had a little bit of fascination around restaurants in department stores because I think restaurants are their own thing, department stores are their own thing, great on their own, but for some reason, when they come together and a restaurant is in a department store, they go a little bit wild and they seem to drop everything. The service is bad, the vibes are bad. It's just a weird thing to experience. So I had an idea to test out every restaurant in Selfridges to see if we would have any good experiences or if they'd all be a little wackadoodle. There are a lot of restaurants. I looked at their website and I kind of been making this pilgrimage for about 7 weeks now. It's taken me a long time to film, but we have got there and we've been to every single Selfridges restaurant. The first place that we went to was Din Tai Fung, and I've actually been to Din Tai Fung on more than one occasion, and I have had a really good experience and a really bad experience at the two different ones they have. So I kind of went in open-minded. First of all, service was absolutely fantastic, and I love the little gimmick of there being the robots to clean things up. There are these little robots that fly around and they clean up your food, which is so much fun. Secondly, the atmosphere was really nice. It was really clean, it felt really bright, you could see them making your food, and the menu was nice, the crockery was nice. It was all really good so far. We were off to a flying start. Now the food, I didn't know what to order, and I was worried that last time I came I didn't order the right food, so this time I went in with a better idea because I basically just searched on Google most popular food in Din Tai Fung. We had the green beans, we had the dan dan noodles, we had some steamed dumplings, and to be honest with you, they were all really good. They all had a lot of flavour. They were quite salty. The only thing I wouldn't personally get again were the noodles. They didn't have much flavour to them. They were quite plain and lacking anything really. And even the egg fried rice felt like proper flavourful egg fried rice, and I could probably eat a bowl of that any day for lunch and be happy for the rest of my life. So far, Din Tai Fung, we're off to a flying start. It was a really good time. I would go back, which I didn't think I would say. I would go back. And the service was absolutely wonderful. We were in out. The food came really quickly. On this day, I actually decided to segue over to EL&N. I don't know how you pronounce it. It's got an and sign in the middle of it. I'm not sure if that makes it EL&N or EL&N. EL&N. I feel like no one really knows how to pronounce it. I wouldn't traditionally step foot in an EL&N. I'm going to go with EL&N, just feels right. I wouldn't traditionally step foot in an EL&N because every time I've gone in, poked my head in the window, it looks overcrowded and it looks overhyped. So I had low expectations, and I have to say my expectations were met with low standards. The food on the counter actually looked really nice, like I could have had quite a few things. However, when it came to ordering, the thing I wanted, which was the Bruce Bog Trotter cake, they didn't have it. I was really flipping gutted. I was so gutted. I could have devoured that. So I actually went a little bit rogue, and I thought I would go from a warm dessert because I thought I've tried some of their fresh pastries before in other places, but I've never had anything warm. So I went for that, and my husband went for a coffee. He said the coffee was neither here nor there. It was okay. It was just a coffee. And the dessert was super sweet. It took a long time to come, actually. I almost, when you're almost ready to just kind of look at the waiter and be like, just the knowing look. Not say anything, just be like, like that. I don't want any confrontation, don't want any beef. I just want to know that we know we've got the same idea what's happening here. I kind of want my food and I don't know where it is, sort of vibe. The women next to us had a really bad interaction. Their food got delayed and they had to actually ask if their food was coming, and in the end they walked out. We had a walkouter, which says a lot for our experience. The vibe was just, it felt, I'm going to say it, tacky. It felt a little bit of an afterthought. It felt like it's lost its heyday, I will say. The food was okay. I wouldn't order again and I wouldn't go back. Now, as we were walking out, we stumbled across Bubble Magic, which is their bubble tea place. And I thought, 3 strikes and we're out. Let's do it. But then, upon reflection, after I came out of Bubble Magic, I thought, actually, that's not a restaurant. That's one of their little bars. And they have a few different bars in Selfridges. They've got Bubble Magic, Kith, Nonna Mama, Lola's Cupcakes. And these places are all just like little bars that they have. So they're not proper sit-down restaurants. Even Kotsu Bar is not a restaurant. It's just like a little seated place that you can go into. So I wasn't tackling any of those in this video, but I can do that. I could do like a whole food haul, because in the food hall, they have all these wonderful things. And I feel like I kind of want to try all those things as well, because it's fascinating to me. But anyway, we tried the bubble magic, and actually it was a really good bubble tea. So little side tangent, the bubble tea there is really good. And I've had the Kith treats before, which is really fun because it's ice cream that you can make to your own personal preference. You can bespoke it however you want. Our first day was off to a high and a low. I would go again and I wouldn't go again. I wouldn't actually even step foot in an EL&N again. Now up next, we are going to Alto by San Carlo, the Instagrammer's dream. I have seen this all over my Instagram page. It is literally lapped up by Insta baddies, which I am not. You know, the girls that just absolutely look drop dead all the time. You see them on stories at 6 a.m. in the morning and thinking, how do you look that put together at 6 a.m.? You know, in the proposal when she runs away quickly at 6 a.m, puts on a little bit of blush, a little bit of lipstick, settles herself into bed and pretends she wakes up like that. That's what I feel like these Instagram baddies do. Anyway, Alto by San Carlo. I've seen it everywhere. It's got these flowers as you walk in. It was really gorgeous. However, again, I feel like it's just missed its heyday. It feels like the flowers were sort of 2020. It feels like we need a little refresh, and they're plasticky flowers, so you know when they go a little bit tired. That was kind of the vibe here. Gorgeous summery day, and we had a great time. It felt like we were on holiday in Italy. The vibes were great. The atmosphere was wonderful. The service, it was all right. It wasn't anything to write home about, but it also wasn't anything that was bad. It was all right, you know, we had a good time. We had a laugh with the waiter, but the food was a little bit slow to come. We actually got a variety of things. I thought we would try something from each menu. So we get something salady to check the freshness of food. I thought we could get something hot and fried, which were the mozzarella balls, to see if they had the cheese pull. And let me confirm, the cheese did pull and it exploded all over me. They were delicious. And then we also got a little bread basket and some olives. Now everything was actually really delicious. However, it was really flipping expensive there. It was extortionately priced. I loved the vibe, especially on a summery day. It was really nice. I just felt like kicking back. I thought, get me back to Italy last year on honeymoon, having the best time of my life. The food was really good, but it was just so expensive for what it was. I feel like bread baskets shouldn't be more than £5. And it was quite a lot more than £5, to be honest with you. The food was good. Those olives were great. The cheese was great. The Caesar salad was okay. It kind of left much to be desired. I would go back if it were someone else's birthday. I wouldn't choose it on my own accord. Now up next, we then ventured to Dolly's for dessert, because you got to have a sweet treat at the end of the day. You know me, a daily sweet treat goes a long, long way. Now Dolly's is a weird one because it's on the ground floor. You're in the middle of the store, and it kind of has a bit of a feel like BHS. You know the BHS restaurants? It kind of has that weird vibe to it. I don't know if it's because you're sat in the middle of the store. Felt like it needed some TLC. We had the nicest waitress I think I've had in months. She was glorious. I just wanted to kiss her on the forehead and tell her, you're doing a smashing job. You are absolutely excelling at your job. I feel like she looked like her name would be Gloria. She just had that vibe about her. She was amazing. I flipping loved her. She recommended the condensed milk latte to Honor, and Honor said it was delicious, wonderful. I got a chai latte. It was on the sweeter side, but again, was delicious. Then she actually walked me over to the patisserie counter so I could see everything. She taught me through everything. She gave me a thorough description. She said a little bit about her life. She just excelled. But you know when they also leave you to it? They don't want to know your autobiography. Honestly, I love her. She was a great. She has really done a lot for Dolly's, actually, because Dolly's was going to be base level, but she bumped it right up. It was a great time. I love her. I want to see her again. The eclair was a good eclair. It was very rich and chocolatey, and the carrot cake was nice and moist. But again, it was overpriced. And for the vibes, I wouldn't go back. But for Gloria, that's what we're going to call her, I would go back. I would hire her in an instant, and if I was ever opening a cafe or a restaurant. I'm just editing this back, and I don't think I deeped that the eclair was £9.95. I would expect views of the flipping London Eye. I'm sat in a basement of a department store. Why is the eclair and the carrot cake 9.95 each. Obscene. Then I moseyed on to the Brass Rail. But let me tell you, this place had a queue back to the back door. I don't know what was going on in the Brass Rail. I could not get a table and I could not get a reservation. I don't know if my internet was down. I don't know what it was. I couldn't get in there. So I found a loophole. I ended up getting to go because I thought that way I'm still experiencing the restaurant and I'm still standing waiting for my food. So I'm seeing how everyone interacts. I'm seeing how the waiters do. I'm seeing the vibes. The vibes were okay, actually. They were pretty good. And it was nice to see my sandwich being made and the chefs interacting. But I will say there was a very long wait, which is understandable when there was a big queue. Clearly very busy. But I'm going to pass over to Grace, who had the sandwich, to see her thoughts. We have our Reuben, and obviously there was a fat queue. The fattest of all the queues. So I didn't actually end up going, oh, this looks exquisite. This looks sensational, wonderful. All the descriptive words. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I only got half because I'm filming a lot of things today. But look at that. Cheese, pickles, sauerkraut, beef in a nice little toasted bun. Here goes. Oh wow. I can see why this was generating a queue. There was a lot of people wanting takeaway. The beef is like melt in the mouth. It's got a lot of flavour. It's salty, not too salty. Then you have the nice creamy cheese. Then you got the sour acidity from the pickles. I got it. This is amazing. Delicious, delectable. Pretty stonking sarnie. I would get it again. Now we have two last restaurants that we are going to. The first one is Aubaine, I believe it's called. I went at 12 o'clock and there was barely anyone in there. Oh my word, I love this place. I don't know if it was the man that was the waiter. He was so great. He just felt really empathetic. It felt like if I came to him with a problem, he would be like, it's all right, Grace. Take my hand and be like, it's fine. You're going to get through this. But also, he was just so like bubbly and lovely. And the actual vibe was really nice. I said to my husband, it felt a bit like if you were on Oxford Street and it was really busy and there was nowhere to go for your lunch, I would go there and it would feel like a bit of a respite. It didn't feel like any of the other restaurants. The other restaurants sometimes felt a little bit dirty, a little bit like it felt how I feel restaurants in department stores are. But this one felt really relaxed. It felt like a completely different vibe. And I had a great time here. I went by myself. I didn't feel judged. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And the food was really good. I got the French toast and it was sweet, flavoursome. It had this crispy outer crumb, but this like smooth cinnamon stuff in the middle. I kind of wish I'd tried some other bits as well because I'm only going off the French toast. But the woman next to me had this gorgeous looking salad and she said it was really good. So all in all, Aubaine is... Will our last restaurant beat it? The last place we went to was Brasserie of Light. Obviously, it's got a lot to beat with Aubaine because Aubaine is flipping sensational. I loved it so much. It was glorious in there. It was majestic. The mirrors, the interior, everything. It was gorgeous. They only had a seat at the bar for me, so I nestled in next to two people. To be honest, I quite like solo dining because I can just be nosy. I can just earwig to the two people next to me. I had a great little time nosying around. There was quite a long wait for me to be served, but I don't know if that's just because I was like, you know, I kind of was giving fly on the wall vibe. I looked like I was just blending in because I was just being nosy and watching everything and everyone. But then we got served and the man was really apologetic and really lovely. I had a little tap water and then I got two things because they have either a starter, which is a smaller portion, and then the main, which is a bigger portion. And I got two starter size. However, these starters were very generous. And in hindsight, I probably only needed one. We got the pasta, which was quite dry and rubbery, but the flavour was nice and it looked aesthetically gorgeous, had little flowers on it. Anything with an edible flower already gets a bump up in my book. But this bang bang chicken noodle salad was sensational. It was delectable. It was so flavoursome. It still held its crisp and its crunch. It had so much happening in there. It had the veg, it had the chicken, it had the little crispy crunchy bits. And I have to say, the two people next to me, they ordered it. And the two people next to me, they ordered it. So everyone on the bar had ordered this chicken salad. So clearly it is quite good. And I have to say it was delectable. Now, I know what you're thinking, Grace, you had great interior. You had delicious food. So what's holding you back from giving it the top spot? Because when I was there, I was at the bar. It's coming back to me in flashes right now. I saw the man who was making all the drinks drop a strawberry on the floor. And what do you think he did with that strawberry? He ran it under the tap and put it back in the drink. He looked around as if anyone was looking at him. And because I was giving fly on the wall vibes, I don't think he saw me. I couldn't believe it. I absolutely could not believe it. But I just sit and watched. Waiting on the world to change. So that is going to bump it right down. But the rest of it was a great time and I flipping loved it. All in all, I had a really fun time filming this video. I will say it kind of did fulfill my vision of what restaurants and department stores are. They're a little bit of an afterthought. Sometimes the service isn't great and they're a little bit dirty. However, in saying that, they are lifesavers because a lot of the time when you're tired and just need somewhere to stop, they are good pit stops. I would say the three top winners, Tai Fung and Alto by San Carlo, very good. But my top spot is obviously to Aubaine. And we have to have a top secret spot for Gloria, the love of my life. What a wonderful, wonderful woman. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really flipping loved filming it and I just had the best time and it was so much fun investigating. As always, subscribe, it's free to do so. Let me know any videos you want to see from me down below. I love you all so flipping much, more than you will ever know. I love you. Have a great day. And to that guy who dropped a strawberry on the floor, I see you. You cheeky man.